afternoon. It's Sunday afternoon. We are on the road back to hot Atlanta from Jacksonville, Florida. Mike and Todd are up in the front seat. I'm back, and they were starting to talk about their favorite, best, all that stuff games you got to talk about after convention. That's I'm stop because I want to record this. So give me 1 second. I may make everybody's car sick here. I forgot how to do it. I did it yesterday. More settings. I'm so professional. Okay, here we go. So Todd, this will be fun. I got the back of their meatheads here. What was your question to Mike? Your favorite game?
So what was the best game of the weekend?
I said best or maybe also unexpectedly very good was the modern game that we tried out.
Which one was that?
Recon,
In Country.
In Country. Played very smooth. We caught on really fast.
super fast and brutal game.
Get to throw grenades at Todd. And then Todd comes back and kills you, even though you were winning. Yeah, it was very clean, very simple.
Y'all played what? 2 games in under an hour?
Yeah.
45 minutes
45
probably.
minutes for 2 games.
Cool.
And the figures look really good. Interesting to see how big they are and how they look.
I hope to run across that guy again so I can figure out what unit has the attack dog on the sling with the guy's back. Find out.
Well, that was pretty
I can ask right now.
pretty cool. He gave you guys sample miniatures. That's always I used to do that back in the day when I was doing what game was it for Reaper? They sent me a bunch of miniatures just to hand out for everybody that played. So how'd your galley game go last night, Mike?
The galley game was a hoot.
How many galleys?
We trimmed it down because it was going to be for the garrison members. So I want to say we had 24 galleys yesterday.
Cool.
Edgar ran it. I helped out, and then when another player showed up, I jumped in and played.
Oh, so you're special. You got to be part of the garrison.
Oh yeah, I took like
Honorary member.
honorary member. I didn't get the coin though. The coin's what gives you the rerolls. But it was really good. They're great players, and people are already starting to bring their own ships. So we'll probably have a garrison event every so often at the con where you bring your 3 ships to play.
Yeah, several guys came over and bought 3 ships. I know your Mythic Earth went well because several guys came by and bought stuff.
Yeah, that was went really well. It's just a great system. Everybody loves the models because you get to usually don't paint.
Somebody needs to learn how to become more down the middle when he's demoing a game.
I thought I was.
And not try to teach one side how to kill the other just because he dislikes the other faction.
You 2 already knew how to play. The other 2 didn't know how to play. How to give them a little guidance.
So it's kind of like me when I advised. I'm the Winky advisor of my demos.
Yeah,
So-
you got it
so
out
you-
for the munchies.
So you kill munchkins. Well, that's the way it should be.
But you didn't say we. You didn't say we need to do this. That's the difference.
That's right.
Didn't I tell you I always speak in the plural?
I didn't know that.
That's
Yeah.
Greek. That's
the
part of Greek. So Todd, what game did you enjoy? And it can't be the same one Mike
Well, my
did. Not allowed.
favorite time of the whole weekend was Trailer Park Warlords of the Apocalypse.
That was a blast. And I've been trying for 2 years to get in the game.
Yeah, I remember seeing it 2 years ago at Siege, and I was always running a demo at the same time, so I never got into it. And it reminded me of the roulette table in the casino. Like, there might be 2 people throwing dice, but there's 75 people standing around screaming, and that's what that game looked like.
Yep. And so appreciate Bad Goblins, Mike and Brian for doing a Discover Games.
Yeah, they did one off the books
Yeah, I can't wait for that game to come out. That was fun.
So we'll be playing that soon.
I
I actually got.
I
go ahead.
randomly picked the perfect faction for me. I liked all the characters. I had a
Did you randomly pick or you just picked?
well, what's his name? Max said these are cops, Todd, and I know you used to be a cop, so that's. And I said, all right, I'll go over there. And then I had the bull with a rail gun and a soda machine with a machine gun, and we never got into melee.
I mean, I ended up with the hillbillies with Alan.
Then
Then I got-
you abandoned me after you killed them
It's
off.
not my fault that the
Seems
player walked away. I had fun with the animals.
Seems like all these games have a lot of backstabbing from Mike involved.
Oh, excuse me. Remember the other day during Xeno Swampit? We had the truce. Who broke the truce? Not me.
His last tournament, we had to get points.
Well, I will say, not even though I told Todd he couldn't copy, I'm going to copy. Trail Park Apocalypse for me. Like I said, I've been waiting a couple years. We do have all the beta stuff for it, so we will be playing at the shop very soon. See, I didn't get to play because I saw it late, but I know Eric Hopkins has a copy, and that was that hockey game Trick Shot. So, it's always interesting. I always come back. Mike says, "What new games do you have?" Well, we actually got 2 new games to play now, maybe 3.
Port Royal.
Yeah, In Country and Trailer Park Apocalypse. So
I like the penguin dice.
the Penguin Dice game. We have to play the Penguin Dice game. But what was I going to say? Yeah, I have to get Trick Shot now, but that'll be easy because Eric's got a copy. We'll get that on the table. But overall, I didn't know what this first time down here to Jacksonville. This is kind of reinvent of used to be Rapier, but the Jacksonville Garrison guys kind of picked it up, take the ball run. I think this was their second year. I didn't ask how many total, but not a bad little convention. They definitely maxed out pretty much the miniature gaming all day Saturday. They even had a no-show and was able to fill the table. So that was good.
Yeah, that was the most disappointing part of the weekend. I signed up for 2-7 TV games.
Todd he ran Cthulhu Must Die, and that seemed to be
I will tell you that
a good
the second
success.
game of that we played last night, it was just a random group of people that never met each other, and everybody had such a good time just laughing and throwing dice, and they actually beat Cthulhu, which is pretty hard to do.
So they were cheating.
No, they did great. I mean,
I
I
guess
showed
that's-
up and they didn't even need my special tactics.
Your special
There's a
tactics
special-
usually involve betrayal, so
We're all gonna be insane in that one anyway. It doesn't really matter.
See what else you mentioned. Kind of the surprise was the In Country. Well, and kind of we mentioned 7TV not showing up. Raven Banner, I believe it's Steven. He set up. I didn't realize he was part of the playtest group for Port Royal. He set up on their table and ran us through the demos, and now we are part of the playtest. So already messaged a couple of guys back home. I think they're excited. So we got the beta rules for that. We'll be getting that on the table soon. So we already got a full calendar, Mike, for all these new
there's
stuff.
a lot of fun mechanics in that game.
Yeah, and that they are still definitely working on the rules. Mike with Firelock, he has messed with me a couple times. Definitely wants her feedback. It's a skirmish pirate game, so does it get much better than that? I don't think it does, but no, it's loosely based on Blood and Plunder. You can see a lot of the same, if not mechanics, some of the same philosophy of the game there, and that's definitely Blood and Plunder is a solid game. What else? What else did y'all see? The Mordenheim tournament. Those guys were having a blast. The tables were incredible. They were doing their awards as we were packing up. They actually, I guess, people bring the tables. They actually had, which I thought was a cool idea, the best table. A guy got an award for having the best table. I'm like, what a great concept if you're running a tournament, especially when you're playing on that. Those were what, 2x2s?
Or 3x3s.
Were they 3x3s? But anyway, as that part of your tournament, So that's always a big challenge when you do run tournaments of having the terrain and then a pain in the butt setting it up, breaking it down. But when you do something like that and the guys actually bring their own tables, I was like, I like that. So
Oh, the Cyberpunk guy.
Cyberpunk Red.
That was a well-run game, and you could catch the excitement of the guy who ran it. Trying to build a bigger community, reaching out to all of Florida and Georgia. He's trying to really push it, but he sold that game well.
Oh, so when we're talking, I don't know, we talk all the time, but when I'm just sitting there on booth, I watch, and it's as much watching the person doing the demo and the players, just their body language and stuff. And I will give him, I think, the best demo person and best demo game, because he was high energy. Of course, he was like half my age, but the players were having a blast, and he had kids playing, he had old grumps like us playing, and they were having fun. I mean, you just look across uh, the hall there, and they were having fun, and that's what I look for in game. Versus, you get 6 old guys and one's falling asleep, and they're just kind of got a sour mood, and you go back 30 minutes later, and you're like, did y'all get through a turn? And they probably didn't, but so I do look at that in games. So I would say, yeah, he won the award for best, I think, demo and overall attitude. I thought it was a very well run and organized convention. From a vendor aspect, they highlighted the sponsors, and they did a little different from some conventions. You did a sponsorship, and then leading up to the convention on their Facebook and their social media pages, they kind of highlighted all the sponsors. So I thought that was cool. Um,
And shout out to you and Buck for all the Wars of Oz. You guys had quite a group going there for people getting into it.
yeah, that's once again one of those games I've been watching for a couple of years, never could get a game in. But once I did, with Mark lives up in the Northeast. Me and Buck were talking about, Mark ran, what I say, 10 games
3 days.
in 3 days with 47 people. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I did 2 with 8, and I'm like, dead. But no, it's a great convention game. It looks cool. It's unique. It does take a turn or two, or if you're Todd, 3 or 4 to get the
Todd won.
The mechanics down. He did win. I'm liking my scenario. I've had three games now with that scenario that it has truly came down to the last 1 or 2 card flips, activations. So I think that makes, you got to play the scenario, because the Winkies do dominate the Munchkins as they should. But if you play the scenario, it is really balanced, and yeah, it's fun. And everybody enjoys. I mean, you got to love Munchkins and Winkies and Pumpkins and Frogs and Rabbits. What else we got to get on the table, Mike?
Oh man,
Chickens,
Duck Barbarians.
ducks.
All over Duck Barbarians.
So yeah, more. We'll slowly get some more units out there. Quackies. I never left the convention. I appreciate, once again, I do a lot of convention by myself. Not a whole lot of fun. I still didn't leave the hotel, but these guys did give me some food, and Mac was there. I didn't mention Mac. Mac drove down from Buford. It was his first convention in a good while. I know he enjoyed it. Enjoyed talking to him, hanging out. And Ralph came down. He lives just north of Jackson. Was about a 45-minute drive for him or something. So it was good to see Ralph. And goes back. I mentioned before, I've done enough conventions and made friends, especially like the Bad Goblin guys and stuff. Made a couple new friends, contacts. So for me, as much the networking and talking to other shop owners and other
creators, publishers, and